Alright, Project Cars 3. I put about 10, like 9, basically 10 hours into it. I streamed it today. I'm going to go over a lot of the bad. There's a lot of bad, a lot of ugly about this game, but it did grow on me. The game is growing on me, and I will tell you why, so stick around. We're going to go through all the bad first, and then we're going to get into why I'm starting to like it. So, alright, so the first thing I want to point out, the text in the menus, it's, well, I'll show you. It's basically, there's white lines through it, it's not crisp and clear, and it's just, it almost looks like somebody took the text and took it in Photoshop, put a rectangle around it, and just copied and pasted it, and like, it doesn't even like match half the time. Like, how do you have text that is messed up like that? I don't get that. Okay, let's talk about the graphics. The graphics are so bad in this game. Like, so bad. Like, I was in bumper cam, and I was like right against the back of another car. The whole exhaust system and underneath was so pixelated that it looked like a PS1 game. The cars look like they're floating. The textures on the walls, the track, buildings in the distance, it is so bad. It's just horrible. For a game in 2020, it is so bad. It's just bad, man. I can't even, there's nothing else to say. It's just bad. Another thing I want to talk about is when you're in the garage and you're in career mode and you're going through and you're like, you know, picking out your car or like doing upgrades. So in your garage you have this little space and there's a nice view of like a city. The sunlight, when it comes in, it completely puts this like film on your car. You can't even like tell what color your car is anymore. It completely distorts it, and it just like the sunlight effect in this game. I've been in races where it puts this glare, this like, it's not even, it's like a bland glare, and it's just over everything, and it makes the game look so bad. I don't know why that's a thing. Like I already said, the cars float. The cars definitely float. I'm going to show you a clip from a super replay, and right in the beginning you can just see it. And it's not just in certain spots. Like it's the most noticeable when you're doing replays, and they just don't look like they're on the ground half the time. And the replays are very, like, look at this. Look at how crappy the spray looks. The reflections actually look good there on the hood, but the other thing, like the reflections on the cars look so bad. It's basically like when you like, okay, so think of it as you have like a paint job on a car. It's gloss, it's reflective, it's got a nice clear coat, and then you have matte. It's just that rough texture. It doesn't really reflect much. All the cars at all times, like look at the headlight glare. It's just a line. It just looks bad. But think of it like this. All the reflections in the game look like a matte paint job. Nothing reflects. It's just bland. It just looks so bad. I don't know how they can release a game like this in 2020. And just look at the wheels and the edges of the cars when they go by. Another thing I want to point out, the engine sounds, they do change, you know, depending on what car you're driving. A lot sound better than others. I know, at least, most cars when they hit redline, they sound really bad. If you play the game, you'll hear it. Basically, it's really noticeable on the R34 Skyline GTR. Once you start hitting redline, it's just like I don't even know how to describe it. It's just, it's bad. It hurts. What are you doing? Okay, so we were driving one of the Shanghai levels, and there's a tunnel, okay? We go in the tunnel. As soon as we enter the tunnel, the brightness changes. Ready? Watch, the screen brightness is just going to clip. See? Look at it. Look at that. What is that? Oh my, that is so obvious. Wow. It's like taking, like, if you had a brightness setting at 100 and then all of a sudden you change it to 70, you're going to notice how it dims, right? That's what it was like when you entered the tunnel. And then when you exit the tunnel, brightness back up. Like, it wasn't like a gradual, like, you know, like Gran Turismo, you get that gradual nice, like, it kind of gets like dark and then you can, you know, see like, you know, your eyes adjust. None of that, just like a freaking switch. And it was so noticeable. Oh god. There's another part where the graphics glitched out. I'll put that in here. Oh my goodness. What is going on? Wow. Wow, this game's great. It just, like, what even is that? This game just came out. It looks so bad. What is this? So I encountered quite a few glitches throughout my time. But basically, I was in my garage. I just picked a new livery on the Evo 6, and we went and did a race. As soon as the race loaded, I had my old livery, and it was quite weird. Did the race, I went back, and as soon as I loaded in the garage, the correct livery was there. And I also noticed that we maxed it out for the GTC class, and we had it was like whatever, like 1, 2, I think maybe even 3 points away before we go in the next class. And when you go into the like tuning menu, it would say that, but then when you went out to the actual menu, like to go do another race, it said like 461 or 467. Like, it wasn't even close. And I don't know if that's just a glitch, but I was having issues with the legendary race difficulty after that, and I don't know if it's because the game's not registering the actual tuning that I put into it, or if it's because it was just coincidence. I don't know, because some of the races are harder than others. It was weird. All right, so when you win a race, it goes to the winner screen, and you'll notice that around the cars, which are not that far away from you, it's noticeably visible that it's just pixelated, and it hurts to look at. It really does. It looks so bad. I just want to point out, I notice this a lot when you're racing and you have a car, 1 or 2 car lengths in front of you. The graphics, the vinyl, the livery, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't even load in. And I have it set to prioritize resolution instead of frame rate, and it doesn't even load. And it just looks like blurry. It just, imagine a livery and then just blur it out. That's how it looks a lot of the times. And it's like, are you kidding me? Like, the car's right in front of me, and you can't even load that on these not even high-res, high-textured car models. It's just, it's bad. All right, I wanted to talk about something that was really odd to me. So the photo mode's pretty cool. You can go in, like, you can pause at any moment in the race and enter photo mode. It has like aperture setting, shutter speed, you know, you can move around, whatever. It's pretty cool. The only thing that kind of like was weird to me is you can't actually take like a photo. You have to, like, I'm assuming there's no like in-game gallery, because I haven't seen one. And all you can do is hide the screen and take a screenshot. Like, I'm on PS4, so I literally have to set it up, hide the UI, and then screenshot it. There's no, it's just, that's weird to me. Like, if you're gonna have a photo mode, you should have a gallery in the game, right? And then replays. So after a race, you should be able to view your replay, right? Wrong. You cannot view your replay. You can only save it after a race. But if you pause it at any time during your race, you can view your replay while you're paused in your race. Your race is going on, but you can watch your replay up to whatever you've driven. But you cannot watch it after. You have to save it and then go into your player menu and then watch it later. Like, what sense does that make? That's really freaking weird. There's another thing that really kind of was weird to me. So after you do a race, it throws you back into like your garage menu. And like when you have like a championship, it's kind of like 1 or 2 races at a time. It's kind of like, oh, okay, cool. You just think like, instinctively, you just like hit race again. No. If you do not back out of that menu and reselect a race, you're gonna redo the same exact race. I don't know. It's just odd to me. Like, you could just put you back in the career menu instead of back in the garage with everything already selected. I don't know. It's just weird, and it threw me off a couple times, and I accidentally went in there. So in the roughly 10 hours I was playing, this game froze on me twice. to the point where I had to close the application and restart it. I mean, I know we're in technically early access right now, but for a game of this quality to freeze on me twice, it sucked. And I'm sure it's going to happen again. All right, let's talk about the AI. So you have a lot of changes you can make to the AI. You can go all the way up to legendary difficulty and very high aggression, which it's so weird because it's like sometimes the legendary is super easy and other times, no matter how I drive, I cannot catch up to them. And it's so I've turned it down to easy to beat some races just because like there's just no way I can win. But the AI, they're not fun to drive with, and you can have up to what, 31, I think, well, including you, 32 racers on a course. And if you're like coming up next to a wall, they will squeeze in. Like if the wall's on my right side and I'm here, they will squeeze in and hit you and throw you into the wall, and then you'll get lap invalidated, which if you make any little mistake, a lot of times if one tire goes off of the track into the grass, or even sometimes on the the little red and white barriers, I forget what they're freaking called, it'll do the same thing. It'll invalidate your lap, and then you have to restart. And if sometimes you're 5-6 minutes into a race and you're doing like the hot lap and you're trying to complete it, you have to completely restart. Like even if you're doing best of 3 laps and you get one lap where you went off, it'll say 0 for your best time, and you just have to restart. But like he hit me even though I was doing it, and he pushed me, and he didn't throw me in a wall that time, but they will slam you in a wall, invalidate your lap. And the AI, sometimes they'll just go this way and that way, and they'll go like this, and they'll ram you. They'll freaking put it in your butthole so hard and throw you forward even though you're braking, and it's wild. Like you'll be next to him, like see right there how he like swerved like that and hit me. They do that all the time. Just you be minding your business and bop, 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 and it's like it's just bumper cars. It's just wild, man, and it's really unfair sometimes, and especially that lap invalidation system. It makes it so hard. It's frustrating because you have to restart the whole freaking race. All right, we'll start getting into the good things here, but don't make my mistake. All right, so I was doing the career. We were doing Road E, the first one. We maxed out to like 199 or something, whatever. And we were doing it. We finally got enough money to take the Evo 6 and do the race conversion. So like I selected it. I didn't see anything. I might have missed it, but I did not see anything saying that it would change the class. Like the rating didn't go up. So I was like, all right, cool. Maybe like we do the race conversion and it kind of just changes the appearance. No, it took it from Road E all the way to the GTC Cup. And we literally used all of our money. I think we had like less than $1,000. So we still didn't have, all we had unlocked was Road E. You have to do objectives to unlock, the next one, or you can pay money. So we used all of our money, and that was our only car. We had zero money. We couldn't go do the GTC Cup. We were completely locked out of the game. So I was like, all right, let me go into the custom races, make some races. Didn't get money. All right, well now I need money. I couldn't progress the game because I couldn't go buy a Road E car to finish the races because I had no money, and my Evo is now dead in the water because I haven't unlocked that. So I was like, what can I do? So I found the daily, the weekly, and the monthly race. Thank God that it gave me money. So after those 3, I got enough money that I went back and bought a Mustang. But multiplayer, I don't know if you get money for the online multiplayer, but lobbies haven't filled at all for me. I don't know if it's just because it's early access and nobody's playing. But don't make my mistake. Make sure you have a backup before you do a race conversion, because if you do that, I almost had to restart at that point. It freaking sucked. All right, so let's talk about something. This game, this is why it's growing on me. Okay, you're in Road E. The cars handle like crap. They're sliding all over the place. All-wheel drive is driving like a rear-wheel drive. It's sliding out. You have to slow down big time to even make any semi-good cornering, and it took me, I don't know, 4 hours before I was kind of getting comfortable with it. And then you start upgrading. Okay, we unlocked Road D. Okay, well when we did the race conversion, we did the Evo 6. Night and day difference. That thing gripped. It felt good. It was planted. It wasn't sliding all over the place. Because you'll go around a corner and you literally drift the whole time. But as soon as I got that race conversion, planted, solid. It gave out a couple times, but nothing crazy. Car felt amazing. And then bought an R34, same thing. Once we went from road E to road D, and we maxed out the next like 100 points. Insane difference. Car launched like a beast, and it was just, it made me so happy because the handling was actually fun now. Like, the handling was actually fun. The whole freaking first like 6-7 hours struggling with this handling, and so there's hope for this game. If trust me, you're gonna hate the handling at first. Stick with it. Once you start upgrading the cars, it's 10 times, 100 times better, and you can actually like go in and like tune the settings. You can do like they have like 3 presets, like balance, high speed, and high cornering. At least for the GT cars, the road not so much. But you can go in and set. You can set your own tuning, but you have to do the modifications and all that first. But the handling is getting better. It's not a sim, obviously. It's an arcade sim. I wouldn't even. It's a weird mix. But stick with it because it gets better. The more you upgrade the cars, the better it feels. And that's all I'll say about that. But I'm thoroughly enjoying the handling now that I got out of that like road E class, and I'm actually starting to upgrade and feel the difference. And it's huge. Like, you feel it in the acceleration, the top end, the handling. It's a game changer. So another good thing, like, the cars are expensive. The race conversions are expensive. But once you get to the higher tiers, you don't have to buy the stock car and then race convert it. You can just buy the race conversion if you want to from the menu. But the tuning is really cheap. Like, you can get intakes and fuel injection for less than $1,000. And at where I'm at, I'm getting like $10,000 per race. So the thing is, like, I bought a car and you can max it out for whatever class you're in to stay in your class for like not even like $2,000 most of the time. Like, it's kind of cool, but it kind of sucks because there's no, like, this career has like, it's huge, it has a lot of progression, but you can't, there's no like, even though it has a progression, there's no progression, because as soon as you buy the car, you can max it out for that class immediately. It's not like you have to grind, okay, here, I got a part, I'm 12 points faster than I was, let me go do some more races. Like, you just immediately max out the class. And I mean, I guess if you put on legendary difficulty, it's not going to matter because they're going to be pretty freaking tough to race anyway. But I guess the good news is once you buy the cars, the tuning is so cheap. So to max out a car, it's not going to cost a lot of money. The last thing I want to talk about for this game is the weather system. It's, obviously graphically wise, it's not that great. But when it starts raining, you can see puddles on the road. And when you hit those puddles, you hydroplane. And your car reacts to the hydroplane. And it's kind of, it's cool. It's a cool feature. But yeah, so that's my thoughts. First 10 hours of playing. And it's growing on me. Like I said, if you do want to get it, if you can get past the graphics and, it looking the way it does, and stick with it for the first couple hours. Once you start upgrading the cars, night and day difference. It's actually fun to throw the cars around now because they actually handle like they should, and a lot of the cars get really drifty, especially in the rain. Like, you can pull off some pretty cool drifts like very easily. Now, I haven't played with my rig yet, my wheel. I feel like once I get these higher end GT cars that actually handle properly, I'll try it out for you guys, see what it's like. But as of right now, it's good on controller, and with how jerky it can be and how sometimes you just gotta like throw the car in and counter it. I just feel like it's too much to be on the wheel. To, it should be a sim racer and nice and smooth, but this is gonna be like all over the place. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Project Cars 3 so far. I've been streaming on Twitch if you guys want to hang over there. If not, I will definitely be putting videos over here. Let me know your thoughts on the game and how, if you've played it, or if you got the 3A early access. I have the Evo 6. I tried out the Mustang, and you can tell it was garbage. Like, I hated driving it. It was just drifting everywhere. I couldn't get traction. It was slow. Then I got the R34. Love that thing. And I just bought the 2020 Supra. Thing is a beast out of the box. I love it. Like, as soon as I drove it, I fell in love with it. It's crazy. So the good news is, like, the cars actually, each car feels different, and that's cool. But yeah, so that's pretty much my main three right now: Supra, R34, and Evo 6. And oh yeah, the aero package. There's 2 aero packages. It doesn't change anything on the outside of the car. Only the race conversion changes how it looks. But you can change, wheels, tires, livery, all that crap. Some cool features in there, but pretty bland. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.